All right, shall we move on to letter time?
Sure, it's letter time.
I don't know. Do you guys want to do the segment first?
Oh yes, let's do the segment.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Yes,
so we're
you
gonna
wanna
start a new
explain
segment,
What the
which is like a top 5 or 10. It depends how this
depends
goes.
how much time we got.
though.
Let's try 5 for today.
Yeah,
5.
5.
and it's gonna be an up too late top 5 that we have to agree on and argue.
We have to agree on something?
Yeah.
This is gonna take like 4 hours.
I know.
This is a new
fun,
podcast beginning just in front
I
of
hope
us.
that it's
So-
not like top 5 Nintendo 64 games.
I have 2
I
different
hope it is,
topics.
because it's an easy friggin' question.
I have 2
Not
options
if
for
we
you
have
guys.
to agree.
Yeah, well, he's just gonna be like, oh, they all suck anyways, who cares, it's
I
fine.
mean, we can
Alright.
like argue about it and have like compromises and stuff.
So what are the options?
All right, we can either have an easy option
Oh gosh.
that's not gonna cause conflict,
Oh dear.
or I also have another
So like
option.
top 5 Monster Hunter games?
We'll just put them in opposite order, right?
Oh gosh.
Then
Okay.
stories goes to the bottom, middle, somewhere.
Story seems pretty alright.
Okay, middle, done.
Yeah. And Poca Poca Iru Village could be somewhere in there too, yeah.
No.
But it's good.
There's already 5, done. I don't care. Okay, so we figured out the Monster Hunter one.
there
What's
could-
yours?
So there could
The other topic could cause conflict.
Okay, well, let's cause conflict.
All
Oh
right,
dear, we're starting with a difficult one.
Let's make it happen.
top 5 consoles, yay!
Oh my god. Okay, are we
Oh,
talking
boy.
home consoles,
Home
portable
consoles. Portable consoles is a different.
Okay,
subject.
fine. That's already making it easier, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, I really like the GameCube.
I really like the GameCube too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
I think it's a fine console, but I don't think it's a number 1 console.
Do you
No,
think
I'm
it's a
just
top
saying-
5
I'm
console?
just-
I think it might be.
I'm just putting things out
I'm
there.
gonna get a pen.
All right.
So
Okay.
we're gonna pause.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, I got a good amount of things written down, so I'll
Okay.
have them remembered.
yeah, that's a long list.
Yeah, it's just it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay
Okay.
then.
All right.
So first of all, can we just
Can we?
remove everything that was made pre-NES?
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of us have like a very strong attachment to any of those.
I don't have much opinion on ones that I've never used or seen in person.
See, I'm a fan of like the ColecoVision, but it's not something I would argue about it being better than anything. Like, it's not a top 5; it's a top 10 console for me, probably.
So it could be like top 5 consoles we've experienced.
Oh well, if it's something that we've all had to experience, then I'm
No, but
already,
I mean like that we've more or less experienced. I don't know.
because I've played an Atari 2600 a lot.
All right, let's just
So let's remove let's remove anything that's pre 85
Okay.
right off. So
Are we counting any arcade stuff?
no,
What about PC?
no,
Well, PC's a pretty good console, but no.
no. So there's no portables, there's no PCs, and there's no old
Arcades.
Atari things or arcades.
Hmm.
Because I mean arcades, I'd be like, yeah, well, Ultra 64 is like number 2 then. But yeah.
All right.
So are we gonna put any of the Xboxes in there? I'm gonna say no.
I've had a lot of fun playing on 360, but I've never owned one.
Yeah.
It was always like multiplayer experiences with friends.
I've only used the original Xbox, and most of the games that I liked on it, I could play on PC anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
See,
didn't really add anything.
See,
to
I'm
the
really
experience.
just comparing it to the PS3 because both of them have a lot of similar games or the same games, and personally, I much prefer the PS3 because of the controller's shape. The design of the console itself is a lot more interesting, in my opinion.
Sure.
And
I like the UI better, personally.
and the games that are exclusive are much, much better, in my opinion. Because I'm not a big fan of the Halos, and that's pretty much the main thing that Xbox has.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation has like a million other things that are like pretty good.
So yeah, I guess we can just...
So let's write off all
No
the
Microsoft
Microsofts.
consoles.
Okay,
Goodbye,
cool.
Microsoft.
So, let's try and just think of the best PlayStations though now.
PS1 is not on my list.
No?
No.
Why not?
Because the PS2 and PS3 are better.
Okay.
I like the PS2.
See, I'm thinking, what about stuff that's backwards compatible? Do we take that into account?
I feel like we
Because the
should.
PS1
We
doesn't...
could take it into account as like a quality of the system, but not so much as like its library, you know?
Okay, because right there would take out the PS1 as an option, and the PS2 would be a really good option, because then you have all of the PS1 games.
But I feel like you can't say, like, oh, PS3, you can play PS2 games, because that was very limited.
Yeah, you can't say that, but the PS2 definitely could play PS1 games.
Yeah.
So that one's definitely a thing. And like the Wii, I would say that it can play GameCube games, but is it better than the GameCube? I don't think it necessarily is, because, you know, the design of it and the...
Yeah, I mean, Lunchbox.
Yeah.
Hello.
But still, you can still plug in controllers into it, and I mean, it's got that whole other library.
But, like, you could... Like, half of the Wiis you can't even do GameCube.
Yeah, but I mean, those also are terrible, so that's another thing.
Yeah, but that's, like, all of the Wiis after a certain period.
Yeah.
Personally, PS3 is in my top 5. PS2 is probably in my top 10 somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know how you guys feel about that.
PS4 is not in there at all.
No.
It's going to take at least a few more years before it's even a consideration.
I would put PS2 before PS3. Just because I prefer it.
See, I would probably...
You know how much I played PS3, which is to say very little.
See, the irony is that the PlayStation I like the most is the first one. But since the PS2 has the first one in it, then, you know, it's leaning a little more towards that one.
Aesthetically, I like the PS2.
Yeah?
The big boxy one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Why do you feel... Well, yeah, you just said you haven't played much PS3, so...
Yeah, there's just so many games on PS2 that I really enjoyed. And then on PS3, I have like a few, and then a lot of them, I was like, I could play this on PC, you know?
Yeah.
I'd be fine with putting the PS2 over the PS3.
Yeah,
That's
so okay.
not something I have a problem with.
We'll put a pin in those then. One of my favorites isn't making the list, Virtual Boy.
I mean, you can have an honorable mention if you want.
It's an honorable mention.
It's definitely an honorable mention.
Let's just put it this way, Virtual Boy
It did a crazy
is a very
thing.
unique machine, and it should get more respect.
Yeah.
Done. Okay, so that's off.
Very unique.
I wonder if there's a VR emulator for Virtual Boy yet.
I hope so.
I think so.
There's been like an emulator for Virtual Boy that's worked for most games for like years now, like a decade.
But is it VR compatible?
People have made
it was 3D
new games
compatible.
for Virtual Boy by using emulators.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, but that's a thing to look into, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk Sega consoles for a bit, because again, they have less consoles and
I
there's
don't
less
really
argument.
know anything about those.
Same.
No.
I played Dreamcast a bit.
Yeah, but like, what'd you play on Dreamcast?
Sonic.
Okay, cool. Good, because those are awesome games. I'm gonna say that.
You're gonna Sega.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
See, the Genesis is really good, and I'm kind of mad that neither of you know the Genesis that well.
I've played games, like, I used to be a Sonic kid,
Yeah.
so I have a lot of the, like, Sonic Genesis collections and stuff like that,
Yeah.
so I've played a lot of the games.
Yeah.
I'm a big I like Phantasy Star.
Yeah.
Like the first ones.
Yeah. Well, actually,
And-
the first 3 were on Master System,
Yeah.
and then the 4th one was on Genesis. Mega Drive. Just saying.
But yeah, I've played, like, a few of the games, and I'd be fine putting the Genesis up there somewhere.
So what about the Dreamcast then? So there's so many good games on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, but most of the good ones you can play on, like, GameCube or, like, PS2.
Yeah. I mean, can't play Jet Set Radio on them, though.
It's on Steam.
Yeah.
It's on a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. I guess it is getting the old port treatment.
Portorino.
Like, are you missing out not having a Dreamcast? Like, if you don't have a Dreamcast right now, are you missing out?
I think you are, because of all of the accessories and all of the amazing stuff that they did with it. Like, there's the VMUs, there's the fishing controller, which is a really amazing thing. I mean, at the time, that was awesome. And it still is a cool unit. The light guns were really good for it. There was Typing of the Dead, which is interesting.
Yeah, but you're
Also on
like
Steam.
you're like
Yeah.
super duper into
Yeah, because it's
accessories for consoles.
Yeah,
you know?
but that's the thing, though. That's what makes your console special, really. Because, I mean,
but think of, like,
what's
the average
difference-
person, you know?
Yeah, but what's the real difference other than what the games are on the NES and the Genesis? Or the Super Nintendo and the Genesis? There's nothing other than the giant plastic rigs that you bought for it. Like the Lethal Enforcer gun, that's it's pretty much the same gun, but then you have the Super Scope versus the forget the hell is it called? I don't even the Menacer. There you go.
I feel completely the opposite way you do.
Yeah.
I own one peripheral.
Yeah.
It's a Guitar Hero 3 controller.
Oh god, that's not even a good one.
The only one I own. I've never been into peripherals.
Yeah, most people aren't into peripherals.
Well, I'm disappointed, and I'm out of here. But no.
I'm out of here because we're talking about a bunch of things I don't know about.
Okay then. But okay then. So I guess neither of you are gonna want to have a Sega on there, huh?
Like I said,
So
I'd
I've
be
never
fine with
played any of them,
Genesis,
so I don't have an
but
opinion.
All right.
I don't think I'd put Dreamcast on there.
All right.
So maybe on Genesis.
I mean,
Okay.
if you're
No
like
Dreamcast.
super duper into them that much, then
I mean,
I'm, like,
the
I'm not
Dreamcast
necessarily
is
opposed.
so
I'm just,
sweet.
I'm just not.
I mean, it had internet. You could plug in dial-up in the thing. There's the microphones. There's Seaman. That's a game you can't play on anything else.
That's true. Sometimes
I mean,
you just
do you-
need
That's
Seaman.
a killer app right there.
Do you want to play it on
Like
anything
Nintendo
else?
was like, oh, we could do that with Pikachu, and you know what? Hey, you Pikachu is terrible compared to Seaman.
Seaman is like nightmare fuel, though.
Yeah, but it's the best kind.
All right.
It does nightmares right.
What category are we moving on to next?
We still have a lot of consoles to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna go through like every Nintendo one really quick, and I mean, we're not gonna mention the Jaguar because neither of you have touched a Jaguar, and
I've touched one, I haven't played one.
you've touched one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Either way, it's not a great console.
All right.
Just went into a game shop and like, oh man, that's a Jaguar. Touched it, and that was my end of the interaction.
Yeah, did you feel
Wow.
that sweet 32 button controller?
No, there was no controllers. There was
Oh
only
my
like the
gosh.
console.
Wow, that's unfortunate. Anyways, so let's see. That's the Jaguar. Moving on from that, we're not going to talk about the weird Chinese stuff like the Panasonic Q or anything like that.
What about the IQ?
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what I'm mentioning there.
Yeah.
The things have weird names. Anyways,
All right then.
all right. So let's do Nintendo in order, I suppose.
Okay.
Do we want to put the NES on the list?
I would make a case for the NES.
It's a pretty good one.
I mean,
I personally would skip it.
It's
Because I
the
feel like
most-
we got better options.
because this is the thing. The NES is the most important console, but beyond that, it's got such a giant library of game that's so well varied. Like
It does.
you have 3D games like 3D World Runner. You have, which it's not really that amazing, but it's a fun game. And you have like really good racing games like Rad Racer and RC Pro Am. You have fighting games. You have platformers like you wouldn't believe. There's really good RPGs on there. There's everything on that console.
What RPG? What
There's
really good RPGs are there on
Dragon
the
Quest 1 to 3.
Mother 1,
Oh yeah.
Final Fantasy,
All right.
There's the big
Sweet Home.
So there's a lot of important ones there. What else? I mean, it's got better obscure games than any other console, I would argue too.
But like realistically, if you compare it to other consoles, how long are you gonna sit in front of your NES to play games?
I've sat in front of my NES for so many hours. I mean, I've probably sat in front of my NES longer, and then, mind you, I didn't get an NES until well after I got a GameCube even. And I've probably played it more than I've played the GameCube or the Wii, or the Wii U is probably similar, and the 64 is obviously not a good comparison. So I've played the NES a hell of a lot.
How have you played the Wii U more than the GameCube or the Wii?
I don't know, I just have. I mean, honestly, I have a lot of Wii games, but I haven't beaten most of them.
Yeah, but GameCube?
Well, I mean, I've played Sonic Adventure a lot, but I've also played it on Dreamcast. I mean, Killer 7.
GameCube was just so many games.
Like, I've beaten Killer 7 a few times, and, Resident Evil 4, but other than that, it's like, yeah.
So many of my favorite games are on GameCube.
Yeah, but, I don't know. And I mean, honestly, I would put the NES above the Super Nintendo any day. Because it had a lot of more, it was definitely way more interesting technologically speaking, but, like, you have way too much, like, bigger, more obvious games, and then the rest is all kind of
On
fodder.
Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. Like, the highs on Super Nintendo are really high.
Like, Contra 3 is, like, phenomenal, but, like, the NES had 2 Contra games that were, fine on their own. And had Mega Man, like, 1 to...
Yeah, but the Super Nintendo has Mega Man X,
Yeah, I know.
which is
And
also really good.
for sure. But again, it's you have 3 Mega Man games on that one instead of the other one having like 6 of them.
Yeah, but I mean,
And I would say that they're much better, but again, it's still more.
I don't know if I would put Mega Man 1 in there. Like,
Well, no,
it's
but
good,
it's
but it's
fine.
not like...
But I mean, 2 and 3, they're like
Yeah.
at least as good separately more than X2 and 3 combined, because they're really good games, especially 3 in my opinion.
You're like 6, too.
Yeah. I mean, was that the one with the you could combine with Rush?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sweet. And that's an underrated game mechanic. But yeah, I would argue the NES being better than the Super Nintendo.
I'm not ready to say that yet, but you've changed my mind a bit on the NES. Talking about like titles and stuff.
And I mean, again, I'm gonna talk about peripherals, but like so many interesting peripherals. And I mean, the light gun was fine. And
So bad.
I mean, the power pad was stupid, and the power glove was stupid, and
It was interesting.
Rob was neat. Like, Rob is neat, but it's not useful, but it's still what sold the console, and that's an important point to make. All right, so we're going to talk about the 64 now. 64 is number 1. Just saying. Putting that out there.
I'm
Time
not.
for the big disagreement.
I'm not letting
point
you do
between
that.
You two.
No?
No.
Well, it's at least number 2 for sure. I mean,
I prefer GameCube over 64.
it is such a well-built,
I will-
well-running machine. It has some pretty bad games, but the great games are the greatest games ever made.
I will let you put it in the top 5.
Yeah, it's going in the top 5. It is the top
I don't
5.
know if it's going in the top 2 spots. I feel like we have... Like, I understand how much you love it.
But I mean, you look at it, you have Ocarina of Time, the greatest game ever made.
But not really.
But it is.
But
The only 2 other games I would argue is Metal Gear Solid and Half-Life.
I don't even think
Wow.
Ocarina of Time is in my top 100 games.
That's insane. It is an amazing game. It still holds up. It's ridiculous.
It's not really in my top games either.
Wow.
And neither is Half-Life, which I've played at Black Mesa.
Wow, plug.
I'm not plugging anything, I'm just saying what I played.
I know, I just want to
Now
say...
I have to plug.
Yeah.
Guys, I did a Let's Play on Black Mesa. The start is really rough, but the end is good.
But,
And I haven't played Metal Gear Solid, so...
The controller's so bad.
no, it's good. It's you don't even...
No, the controller on the 64 is fine.
It's great. I mean, you have options, and that's cool.
It breaks so easily.
No,
What?
it doesn't. I've never broken...
Yeah,
I have
I've-
one with duct tape on it, and it still runs.
I'm talking
I've
about the
never
joystick.
had one break.
The joystick's fine. I've used...
It's more
I've
likely
used,
to break your hand than
I've used
break.
the same 2 joysticks for the past... since 1998, so almost 20 years. And they're fine, both of them.
I've barely played my N64, and both my joysticks are pretty loose.
That has never happened to me.
I've beaten Banjo-Kazooie 3 times, and like many other times that the file got erased or whatever. I've beaten Banjo-Tooie once or twice. I've beaten Mario 64 countless times. My joystick is still fine.
Let's argue about some games on N64.
Oh boy.
'Cause
Jumping into the rabbit hole
Because
there.
games are what's deciding what my order is going to be.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's
So I want to
mostly
talk
what
about some
mine's
N64 games.
Oh my god.
So what do I like on
Oh,
N64?
You
Not
like
much.
nothing, but you have no taste.
We're gonna start this easy.
You
What
know,
do
I want
like?
to just say something right now. StarCraft 64 is an actual thing, and it holds up pretty good, which is weird. Just saying, like I don't even understand how they did it, but they did. Just saying.
Alright, so what games?
What games do I like on N64? I like Pokemon Stadium. The mini
Okay.
games are nice.
What about the second one, huh?
It's also nice.
There you go.
So you got 2 games I like right there.
Yeah. Right. Pokemon Snap. That's the third one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's on
Pokemon
there.
Snap was real good.
It was a fun experience. I don't
Yeah.
know if I would put it in like top 50 games of all time.
No, I wouldn't even close, but it's neat and it's cool and it's,
Yeah.
it's a thing that made a splash when it came out, and people are still
Yeah.
talking about it.
Rampage
People love
is
going
good.
to Blockbusters.
No, yeah, that's yeah, pretty good.
Like, does it tell you anything about my tastes for N64 games when Rampage is in like my top 10 games on N64?
I mean, there was a Rampage game on the Wii. Pretty good.
Rampage is super underrated.
It is. They wanted to do a movie of it. They never made a movie of it. They
I mean,
should
is
make
it-
a movie of it, cross it over with everything else we mentioned.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi should play one of them.
should still be a cat, though.
Be like, hey, that cat sounds familiar.
Oh god, that's horrifying.
Yeah, you know Rampage is the first nudity in a video game?
Huh.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Mario Party, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's 3 of them. Second one's the better one, I would say.
There's like the best Mario Party games on there, pretty much.
Yeah,
I'm partial to 3.
that's fine. 3's really good. I just love 2 because I thought it was the perfect, like, there was a lot of mini games, but it wasn't too convoluted overall.
Yeah.
Because 3's a little complicated, and I think that's why they decided to make them stupid, easy, and boring now, because of how crazy they got, which is fine. They were great.
2 and 3 definitely had the best mini games.
Yeah, because 1 everyone loves to mention, but there's honestly not enough games.
2 is just like 2 had all the good Mario Party 1 mini games.
Yeah,
Anyways,
it had, like, you know, all its own new ones that were, you know, still being used, whatever. So
what else is good on N64? Pokemon Puzzle League. That's good.
what other Pokemon games are there on there, do you know?
There's a lot of Pokemon games on there.
There's Hey You Pikachu.
Yeah, that's true.
That was an experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't like N64 games that much.
Man.
I don't like much of any of the 3D ones.
Oh.
Like Mario 64 and like Sunshine is better.
Sunshine is so good.
All the both Banjo games. Conquer was.
Conquer's so good. It's a brilliant game.
I like Conquer, but I don't like playing it.
What?
I enjoy like.
I know
I mean,
how
the
that
water
feels.
stuff's awful, but other than that, I mean...
Casey, what is it, Monster Hunter Try?
It's a video game.
I'm just saying.
Boom, water levels got owned just now.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. But again, water levels suck 99% of the time. The only time they didn't suck, Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie. Putting that up there. Best water levels. Donkey Kong Country.
What about Super Mario Sunshine? It's one big water level.
But it isn't, though. You're not, like, stuck going underwater for most of it.
Yeah.
And that's what a water level is.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any really underwater levels in Sunshine? There's like 1 or 2.
Yeah, there's a few. I was just making a joke.
Yeah. It's just ironic that there's almost no water levels in a game about spraying water at everything.
Yeah.
Like
You're too busy spraying it.
Yeah.
You don't swim in the water very often.
Nah.
There's
I
like
mean,
the
you-
mission with the giant eel where you clean
Yeah.
its teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, you know, most of the time you just end up in the water because you missed a jump and then you gotta swim around and go back.
Yeah. So anyways, what do you like about, like, what games do you like on the N64?
I mean, I could go get you like 30 of them right now.
Your highlights.
Okay, well, there's obviously all of the stuff that I've mentioned already. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's GoldenEye.
It's
Perfect design. It's so good.
It
Dude.
controls like trash.
Dude, there is not a more fun multiplayer shooter, local multiplayer
Yeah, I was
shooter.
gonna say.
Halo
that I've-
2.
No, it's not as fun. I've not had any fun playing Halo, but just there's no game I'd rather play at like 2 a.m. with 3 friends. There just isn't, and there still isn't. Like that game is 20 years old.
I'd rather go to bed than play GoldenEye.
Play Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever. I don't know, and I'm like, everyone's like, oh, well, nostalgia shit, and I'm like, no, I've played it in the last like few years, and I still love it. It's still fun. It's almost gotten cheesy because it's fun, but it's still fun. It's still a game I want to play. It still entertains me, and that's what matters.
I'd be fine with putting it spot 3 or 4.
All right, well, we're moving.
Just because of the puzzle games.
Tetrasphere.
Yeah.
There's no
God.
game like Tetrasphere, and it's only on N64.
Tetrasphere is unique.
What else is on 64? Well, I mean, there's Majora's Mask, obviously.
We should probably go through the other consoles. We're running low on time.
Okay, well...
I mean, the hardest part's gone now. Like, we've gone through N64.
Yeah.
It should go quickly.
So,
GameCube's
well,
pretty
let's
We still
just,
have to decide the order of these things.
let's
you
just
know?
gloss over the Wii real quick. Like, I like a lot of the games on the Wii, but...
I'd put it in my top 10, not top 5.
Yeah. I mean, I like a lot of Wii games. I actually like a lot of them. I'm surprised how much of them I like. But then you have the Wii U, which
can
has
play Wii
compatibility with the Wii.
Yeah.
So therefore, like, sure, the Wii has compatibility with the GameCube, but the GameCube's fine, and the Wii U is pretty awesome.
As far as the average consumer is concerned, there's no difference between the two.
Yeah, I know. But there you go. The Wii U is amazing.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, boy.
But yeah, so we all agree that the Wii's not going on there.
No.
Yeah.
Done.
That's good.
Cool.
But I wouldn't put the Wii U on there.
Well, let's just talk about the GameCube for a minute.
All right.
I would put the GameCube on there.
Same.
I'd
put the GameCube in the top 2 spots.
That purple lunchbox.
I would put the GameCube in maybe 5th at the most.
That purple lunchbox is my youth.
Yeah, that's fine, but what does it have that the PS2 doesn't? And I know that there's a lot of stuff, but let's go. Let's talk.
Melee.
Oh yeah, there's Smash Bros on the N64. Just saying.
It has the beginnings of so many of my favorite series.
Yeah, they all turned out real great, didn't they?
Yeah. Don't remind me about what happened last time.
It has Pikmin.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It has Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
It has...
Chibi-Robo. Has the first North American Animal Crossing. Basically the first Animal Crossing in its current form, anyway.
Yeah.
It's got Pokemon Coliseum.
It's got Cubivore!
Yeah. But I mean, if we're talking about obscure awesome games, I could talk about a week for the NES alone.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
It's got Eternal Darkness.
It has...
Eternal Darkness.
It's got Perfect Dark.
My games are in the
No, it
corner and I
doesn't.
can't see
It doesn't?
them.
Wasn't there a Perfect Dark game on GameCube?
Xbox 360.
Oh. Are you sure there's no Perfect Dark game on?
100%. You know, Microsoft they bought Rare in 2003, which means that there's only 2 years they could have even developed anything on the GameCube. They spent that time developing on the GameCube, but they never released a single thing. There's not a single GameCube game that Rare made. They announced they were doing a Perfect Dark game, and they announced they were doing Banjo.
No wonder you like the GameCube.
I hadn't even noticed.
They released a bunch of Game Boy Advance games afterwards, but like Mr. Pants and Banjo Pilot, Banjo Kazooie, Revenge of Grunty, whatever. But yeah, they didn't release anything on the GameCube. It was much too early.
But yeah, so the GameCube started a lot of good series, and it also had sequels for a lot of good series, like Paper Mario. And
Paper Mario, this...
1,000-Year Door.
So good.
But the
is
first
like
one,
the definitive Paper Mario game.
I still like the first one more by far.
Yeah, but how much have you played 1,000 Year Door?
I don't even care how much I played 1,000-Year Door.
so
There's not the
good.
stuff I liked in that one.
It's so good.
I don't like arguing
it adds
between...
more stuff to Paper Mario 64 without taking out any of the good things or making too many changes.
The only things I really liked was the specific things that happened in Mario 64 or Paper Mario.
So basically, you like...
I just liked that narrative. I liked everything about it, but I wouldn't...
not the gameplay or anything else.
Not really.
So then, like, you don't
the art
really...
style's fine, but
So
like
then
I love the
you
humor
don't
in
even
it.
like the Paper Mario game then. You just like the story.
Yeah, which is whatever. I don't care. It's one of the only RPGs I've beaten.
It's just that 1,000-Year Door, it's like, it's got it all, you know?
Whatever.
For people who like RPGs,
Yeah, well, they can
It's
just
like-
they can just like stop.
it's so good.
They can just. What was it that Iwata said? He was like,
Oh, God.
RPGs are for lonely people that want to play games in the dark
What?
or something like that.
When did he want to say that?
This was like a
Doesn't
year or
sound
two.
s-
That was like a year or two in his presidency in Nintendo.
That doesn't sound like something you would say.
It was something, and then he said in the same year, he said that online was like the stupidest thing that they could possibly be going for right now.
I wanna
It
come
was
back.
a good year.
Wow.
I want to come back to N64 for a bit.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
What RPGs are there on N64?
there's none. It's great,
Yeah, there's none
It's
really.
terrible.
dude. It's so good.
You got Paper Mario.
Yeah, which is there.
You got Quest 64.
Yeah,
What else do you got?
I don't care. That's
Nothing.
awesome. That's a
Yeah.
perfect console right
For
there.
RPG fans, it was pretty much like stop at Super Nintendo and then start up again at GameCube.
Yeah, but it was go to PlayStation. PS1. If you want to play
was-
RPGs, play the PS1.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of them. Which is fine, but that's why I like the 64 better than the PS1. Because it's not just cluttered with a bunch of really long, droning RPGs.
I mean, yeah, too many JRPGs is not a good thing.
Yeah, and that's what the PS1 had. In spades. And it had, just by sheer number of discs.
Oh boy.
So what's our What's our like contenders right now?
Well,
Yeah.
we're not even at Wii U yet, but so far the only ones we've really mentioned are PS2, PS3, Genesis, N64, GameCube, and NES. We barely talked about the Super Nintendo, but you said that maybe it would be one or the other, so I guess we'll put that. And yeah, we didn't mention the Wii U yet.
I don't feel like I can argue against or for the Wii U. I
Really?
haven't played
Yeah,
it
you
enough.
haven't really played yours.
Okay.
I've played mine maybe 5 hours.
Okay, but I mean...
I'm not saying it's bad, I just
No.
haven't played it.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's look at the Wii U for a minute.
Wii U's got a fair bit of really good games.
And it's Wii compatible.
Yeah. But it also is
I mean,
like...
it's got Lego City Undercover, it's got Splatoon, it's got the new Smash Bros, which is better than Brawl for a lot of people.
It's got
whatever.
Pikmin
It
3.
is.
It's got Pikmin 3. What else does it got? It's got...
Lego City Undercover.
Yeah, I already mentioned that.
Oh, you did?
It's the second thing I said.
Oh.
Actually, I think it might have been the first one, I don't know.
It's got some remasters that are pretty good.
Yeah, it's got... It's got Nintendo Land that's actually surprisingly decent.
Yeah, that was actually
There's
surprising.
Mario 3D World, which was really cool.
Yeah, I don't really like Mario
Mario
games,
Kart
so-
8, Xenoblade Chronicles X, or
I
whatever
guess.
the hell it was called.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's a game that people like. There's like the
Yeah.
remasters of everyone's favorite Zelda games except for the best one, and the Game Boy ones, which are like my favorites, so there you
I
go.
prefer those two Zelda games to Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, but that's just because you have no taste in Zelda games.
Okay.
Do you guys like absolutely want Wii U on the top 5 list?
You know, I would strongly argue for it, just because...
I would say it could be there if there's room, but I don't know if there will be.
Would you guys be comfortable putting it at 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe at
Yeah,
5.
it's definitely not like number one because there's a lot of competition. It's quite good.
So, Genesis will probably just not put it on there, because I'm guessing no one's going to argue other than me for it.
Yeah, I'd be comfortable not putting Genesis on there.
I'm fighting more hard for the NES right now because I like the Genesis, but I like the Dreamcast more even, and like that's clearly not going on there. So,
Alright, so no Genesis.
So we still have the 2 PlayStations that we mentioned. We have the N64, the GameCube, and the NES and the Super Nintendo.
Should we put 2 Sony consoles on there?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
I don't feel the need is there.
No. But
Yeah.
which one do we put and where?
Well, you guys know my opinion.
Yeah, PS2.
I'd be fine putting PS2 on there.
All right, so PS2 is going in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PS3 is out. So now we have the Wii U, we have the PS2, we have the N64, GameCube, NES, and Super Nintendo. So we're at 6 consoles. Which
Wow.
one's leaving?
We only need to... Yeah. Your hands are-
Personally,
Yeah. Because, I mean, clearly we're going to remove either the NES or the Super Nintendo at this point.
yeah.
I'm saying we take the Super Nintendo out.
They both had a lot of good games
Yeah,
that
but
I
I
really
think...
enjoyed.
I'd put both personally over the Wii U.
Yeah? That's fine. I would
But I don't know
put
how you
the-
guys feel about that.
See, I would put the NES before the Wii U, but I put the Super Nintendo after the Wii U.
Well, it's just because you hate RPGs.
Fine. But no, that's the thing, though. Even so, like I said, the NES has a lot of good RPGs. It has a lot of them. It just doesn't have, like, your Chrono Trigger and your,
So good.
whatever the hell else there's on. I don't even know the RPGs, damn it.
It's a lot of good ones.
I'm just saying, like, the NES has plenty of good RPGs, and it's, you know, RPGs don't need, like, crazy graphical prowess or anything like that. So it's, they're great, and they're fine.
I think I prefer the ones on Super Nintendo, though.
What would you say your playstyle is? Like, personally, I sit down with a game and play it for, like, multiple months, and I sink, like, hundreds of hours into it.
See, I do that with portable games. With console games, I barely play them anymore. But if I do, I usually want to get like a good hour or two on something solid, and then I'm done for a bit, you know.
See, I'll play like all day.
Yeah, see, I'll play like all day if it's like Lego City Undercover, but like or like Banjo-Kazooie or Mario. But other than that, I usually only play for like a little bit.
I feel like
Unless-
that might be affecting how we feel about consoles,
Yeah,
the way we play them.
but that's the thing. Any day,
Yeah,
I'll-
because I mean, like NES is more Like, it's a different play style than something where you can, like, save your games on most of the games.
Yeah. See, that's true, but I mean, if you're gonna play games for hours and hours, then why not just beat the game if it's feasible in any way? Also, Bionic Commando, I don't know why I just remember that, but Bionic Commando's awesome.
Metroid.
Yeah. But I mean, again, Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. But
Like, what's your like favorite games on NES?
oh my god, how many? I have like 60
Your highlights, like
highlights.
Yeah.
Well, my personal highlights would include Mario 3 is pretty good.
All right, I'm gonna stop you after every entry here.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, you got Mario 3.
Yeah.
But let's compare it to Mario World.
Okay. But let's compare. Let's think about the fact that we have Mario 1, 2, and 3 versus Mario and Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island is very good.
It's fine, but I just can't stand it because of the baby, obviously. But even without the baby, I don't know. I don't
You never hear the baby if you're good enough.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. I'd rather play Yoshi's Story.
But how long does it take of hearing the baby to get good enough?
Oh my god, so many hours. Literally hours of hearing the baby.
I feel like mechanically.
See, I would rather play Mario 2 than I'd rather play Yoshi's Island. 100%. Because I've actually beaten Mario 2. I've never beaten Yoshi's Island. Because I can't even get through it because I just get so bored or mad. Whichever.
Both.
Yeah.
Alright, so Shatterhand, I can't really compare any.
You sure can't. That game is so amazing. And that's another thing. The NES has so many side-scrolling shooters that are amazing. Whereas the Super Nintendo only really has R-Type 3 and R-Type 3 and Gradius 3. It's also Super R-Type, but it wasn't quite as good as you had Life Force in the NES, you had Image Fight, you had Xevious.
That game with the head.
Which game with the head?
The weird game with the head. We were just like a head shooting stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sure.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I honestly not at the moment, no. But there was so many. That's a whole genre that's pretty much exclusive to the NES. What else is on the NES? I mean, there's Power Blade, which I'm a big fan of. There's Joy Mech Fight.
I think I lean towards the Super Nintendo, but they're both good. They're close.
Mr. Gimmick is another NES game that's really, really good. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, that reminds me, there's Monster Party on the NES. That's a pretty fun game.
It's Zombie Nation for anyone listening and not seeing pictures.
Yeah. Whew. And I mean, the sports games on the NES are all pretty good. Ice hockey,
Blades of Steel.
Boy.
Blades of Steel, right? Super Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah, I guess I don't know which one I prefer.
Personally, I just feel like all the good NES games have equivalent or better games on Super Nintendo.
See, but that's the thing. I feel like every great Super Nintendo game has 5 other games on the NES that you could, get way more hours out of than just the one. Sure, Super Metroid is easily one of the best games ever made. But you have
something we agree on.
But you have so many other great platformers on the NES that it's insane to just, and I mean shooting type stuff Power Blade and stuff like that. And I mean you got DuckTales 1 and 2. Just saying, a lot of people seem to love those. I like the second one, which sucks because it's worth a fortune. But
what about Final Fantasy VI?
I don't give a shit about any of the Final Fantasy games.
What about Chrono Trigger?
What about
Secret of Mana?
I played Chrono Trigger.
So
you know how long I played Chrono Trigger for?
Earthbound. How long did you play Chrono Trigger?
I played for about an hour and a half, and then I died. I didn't know how to save, so I just gave up. Because I wasn't going to play another hour and a half of that.
I played the heck out of the DS port.
Yeah, see, that's the version I was using.
Yeah.
What's your feelings on NES versus Super Nintendo?
I just said it's tied. They both have very good games, but I find that they have very good games in different categories.
Can we be comfortable tying them on our first segment of Top 5?
Maybe.
Would you be comfortable tying NES and Super NES?
I mean...
At number 3?
Ugh, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't.
We could move the Wii U out and put both of them in.
Yeah, but then what order do we put them in?
SNES. NES. SNES.
I don't know. are so close.
I'm making you put the N64 lower than you want, so I'm fine putting the NES over the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but that's barely a good trade there.
We're gonna be here all night.
I think it's a fine trade because I don't even want to put the N64 in like the top 10.
Yeah, but it is the top 10. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Gosh.
Can we put N64 at 3?
What
Yeah,
about putting it 1 and 2?
we don't know yet, but yeah, N64 is going at 3.
And what's 4 and 5?
I don't know, but PS2 might be there.
Let's put PS2 at what's number 1?
We don't know.
GameCube?
Everything is so
I wouldn't say
unclear.
that, but that's the problem, I suppose, isn't it?
Oh boy.
I would never say the GameCube is the best console.
What about Super Nintendo? Can we put Super Nintendo at 1?
No,
I wouldn't say so.
I would put the NES at 1, if anything.
I wouldn't put either of them at 1.
What personally, what do you want to put at 1?
N64.
What about you?
GameCube.
I'm also saying GameCube.
Well, that's just insane.
Alright, how about GameCube at 1 and 64 at 2?
See, no, I just don't want the NES. I just don't want the GameCube at number 1.
Why?
You
Because
will
it's
not
so
budge
good.
on that?
No.
Because
It's
we
so
have to
good.
agree on this.
Yeah, but I can't put it number 1. It's in no way
Why,
the
though?
it's in no way the best console.
What are your options for number
Yeah,
1?
but it's just
Everything else on the list.
it's just our top 5.
I know it's just our top 5, but everything else on the list would beat GameCube.
So you'd be comfortable putting anything on the list except GameCube at number 1?
Like, I would put the Dreamcast, I would put the Genesis. Like, I like the GameCube, don't get me wrong, but it's just, like, I'm thinking of GameCube games, and I'm thinking of, like, 5 games that I really like.
But they're really good.
Yeah, but most of my favorite GameCube games are on other consoles. And, you know, not necessarily in better ports, but just...
What would you be comfortable putting at number 1?
And, you know, there's a thing I want to argue about the GameCube, though.
Besides GameCube,
Yeah.
though? Oh, boy.
What were you saying?
There's a thing I want to argue about the GameCube, and that's actually about aftermarket stuff, because I think that's still a thing that matters. But all of the GameCube games are stupidly inflated in prices, whereas you can get the PS2 versions, which are the same, for, like, much less. You know how much Killer 7 goes for right now?
Yeah, but we're not
About-
talking about prices.
About $10 on Steam.
Is it on Steam?
It is
Yeah, I
coming
think
to
it
Steam
is.
if it's not on
What?
there.
That's awesome. But, I mean, it's like $10 on PS2, but it's like $60, $70 on GameCube. It's the same
Like,
game.
I feel if we
matter.
start talking about aftermarket stuff, we can just like, oh, PC, you know?
Yeah, really.
Emulate everything.
Yeah, PC Master Race right there.
So I feel like we can't really mention,
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
use that as an argument. Because, I mean, Dreamcast, you could just, you know, burn all your games.
Yeah. But I mean, that would pretty much remove us talking about anything that wasn't in the 5 years or less, you know, depending, of the console's lifespan. Which would automatically make the NES the number 1. Because it's in every way the most important console ever made, and it was a friggin' behemoth when it came out, and it was a behemoth even after the Genesis came out, which is crazy. And I mean, it's like the same thing they did with the Game Boy. Like, how was the Game Boy so successful for so long? It makes no sense other than it's just a great, great machine.
Because parents like playing Tetris.
Yeah, who doesn't like to play Tetris? Guess where it was?
That's
I was on the Game Boy, it was on the NES.
100% why it was successful, because parents like playing Tetris.
Yeah. The kids wanted Mario Land too, so there you go. It's a win-win for everyone.
Alright, so what are you comfortable putting at number 1?
I don't know. Not PS2.
No.
The other 3 are really difficult.
See, I'm gonna just go ahead and say what my personal top 3 is without any of your influence. And that's number 1 is N64, number 2 is Dreamcast, and the number 3 is NES. I just want to say that.
You know,
For
like,
the record.
I'd be comfortable putting PS3 at number 1, but we're not even talking about it.
No, we're not.
I'd put the Super Nintendo there. I'd put GameCube there. I'd put PS2 there. I would not put the N64 there.
Well, I know you wouldn't.
Oh boy.
How do you feel about all this?
Well, like, the NES is important, but personally, I think I prefer the Super Nintendo. But, like, they're both, like, you know, I like them both because of different reasons in that way.
I mean, let's just...
The N64
We have to we
is,
have to
like,
compromise on stuff.
Let's just go for broke for a minute. If you were stuck on a desert island with every single game somehow of that console and every accessory and everything, which consoles would you rather be with? Also, there would be power and a TV in that. Just saying. It's not a thing that makes sense, but it never is, so that's not important.
GameCube.
It would either be Super Nintendo or GameCube for me.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
For me,
But why the
GameCube would
GameCube?
definitely be there.
You'd run out of games, though.
Dude, I could play Animal Crossing forever.
Like, the thing with the GameCube is that the games I
You
like...
got me there.
Yeah.
But I would, but I mean...
I'm not gonna play Dobutsu no Mori on 64 in Japanese forever.
I'd play F-Zero X forever.
There's F-Zero on GameCube.
Yeah, I know.
It's really
but
hard.
It's terrible compared to X.
What do you mean it's terrible?
F-Zero X is the best F-Zero game.
Whatever, I've
It's
not played enough to
only
argue
on
this.
Nintendo Ultra 64.
Alright, hear me out.
Okay.
SNES at 1,
Okay.
NES at 2,
Okay.
N64 at 3,
Okay.
GameCube at 4,
Okay.
PS2 at 5.
See, I don't like that though.
Yeah, okay. Well, what would you change? What would you change?
I also don't like that, but SNES is the only thing that I like that will be at number 1.
It's just because I like GameCube so much more than all of the other ones. That it's like, it's hard to put it so low, you know?
GameCube at 3, N64 at 4.
I don't think that he would agree. Oh, boy.
We gotta compromise, we gotta agree on this.
We have to put them in an order, do we?
Yeah.
Why did we start with the hard one? This is gonna take...
Because now we know how long it'll
The
take.
easy option was Mario games.
That's not an easy option. She hates them all.
Yeah.
Other than Mario, other than Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door.
And Paper Mario 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And the rest can all just stop.
What about Mario Land, though? Huh?
Anyways, let's
You
not...
like Mario Land.
Let's
Mario
not-
Land is alright if I'm bored, but it's like...
It's a fine game.
We're not talking about Mario games. We're talking about consoles.
Yeah.
Well, that means we are talking about Mario games, though.
I guess.
Especially when 4 out of 5 of the ones you just mentioned all have Mario games.
Yeah.
But like 2 of the ones she mentioned are on GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's part of my, you know... They're also 2 of my favorite games.
I'm comfortable
GameCube.
putting GameCube at 4.
What about GameCube at 3? What about if we take the NES down?
Yeah. What's your order?
So then it would be Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, NES, PS2.
Yeah.
Ah, lady.
I don't like it, but geez, we gotta finish this at some point.
I agree with both.
God.
Both of our suggestions.
So what about if we just take the Super Nintendo out, N64, GameCube?
No.
Yes, I would.
Oh, God.
What's your top 5?
GameCube, and then PS2 on the bottom. And then the next 3, the middle 3 would be... It's too difficult. I guess it'd be like 64, Super Nintendo, and then NES. Maybe, I guess. That would be my personal... out of these 5 that we picked.
Alright, now consider everyone's feelings. How can you build a top 5?
I can't. It's impossible.
Because, yeah, the problem is I wouldn't
And the-
mind putting GameCube at 2, but number 1 would have to be N64.
The longer we
So
do
that
this,
doesn't-
the
I'm
less I
not
can
doing
think.
that. I'm not putting... I'll do anything you want, but I'm not putting N64 number 1.
Yeah. Well, what about fine? We'll put GameCube number 1, but N64, followed by NES, followed by Super Nintendo,
Followed by PS2.
followed by PS2.
That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Done.
Alright.
N64 is number 2, at least.
Oh,
What's our
wow.
final list? GameCube, N64, NES, Super Nintendo, PS2.
Yep.
Up to late podcast top 5s. Probably not back next week.
Our podcast is now an hour and a half long.
Cruising. Yeah. USA.
Oh boy.
Yeah.